Hello, it's me, Robin, with Simple Food, Simple Life. Today, I'm going to show you how to make another Simple Food, Simple Life basic. This is one thing I like to keep in my kitchen, and that is toasted breadcrumbs. Now then, everybody ends up with, or let's say it like this, most people end up with odds and ends, pieces of bread, buns, etc. I do. And so what I do is when I get to the end of a bread, and maybe it got shoved to the back or something, and it's stale, I just simply keep aside a bread bag. I put the odds and ends pieces in the bread bag, and I put this in the freezer, and I just keep putting bread in it. And you can see that this bread is not beautiful bread. I'm going to put it in my pan here because I want to show you what it looks like. It's just bread. The hot dog bun, there's some heels. We call them heels. I don't know what you call them in your neck of the woods. Put in the comments below what you call them. My sister-in-law, who's of Dutch ancestry, calls them the kop. So, anyway, this is what I've got. I've just got odds and ends of pieces of bread. Now, there are 100 things you can do with odds and ends of stale bread. This is just one of the things that I like to do. I like to take my stale bread, and I have a blender here, just a blender, and I'm going to break this bread up. I'm just going to throw a little bit of it in the blender, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to pulse the blender, and I'm going to turn it into crummy bummies so that I can toast them. Okay, so, and I got a pretty good sized cup here. This is my Ninja, and I don't want to fill it up too much because I want to make sure that I can blend it reasonably. And let me move this off the end, because when I get this blended, I'm going to dump it in here. Okay, all right, now we're going to blend this up. All right, I'm just going to pulse it until it is the consistency that I want. I think that's pretty good. All right, now that I've done that, move this out of the way. I'm going to open up my blender here, and you can see that I just pulsed it. Not that big of a deal. This really doesn't take very long. And I have a pretty good sized pan here, and I'm just going to continue the process of doing my pulsing and crumbling up my bread. Now, some of this is thicker, so it's still slightly frozen, but that's okay. And it doesn't take long. It actually only takes a few minutes. That was my oven. I'm preheating my oven to 300 degrees. Well, you don't have to preheat it, but it is. All right, I'm done grinding them up. And you can see, remember that bag? It was a partial bag of stale bread that I had. You can see in this large pan how many breadcrumbs this made. Now, you know what? If you want them like this, just store them in a bag and put them in your freezer and mark them that they are just breadcrumbs, unseasoned. If you want to season them before you want to toast them, by all means season them with Italian seasoning or whatever you want. I recommend that you grind up the seasoning with your breadcrumbs if you want to do that. And then after you toast them, you can just mark them that they are seasoned, toasted breadcrumbs. Now, I'm going to toast these because that's my preference, and I just think they taste better, and just, I don't know, they just look better. I like them that way. So that's what I usually do. I'm going to toast them up. Now, I'm not going to put any seasoning. I'm not putting salt. I'm not putting anything like that. I just want mine plain. But like I said, if you want to add seasoning to your toasted breadcrumbs, grind up some of that seasoning with your breadcrumbs, okay? And then that way it'll just really kind of blend in, and it will actually flavor your breadcrumbs and not just be on top, and you run the risk of possibly burning your spices or your seasoning before you while you're baking these off. Okay, so now I'm going to put these in the oven, 300 degrees. I'm going to put them on the middle rack, and periodically they're going to take around 20 minutes, give or take, and I'm going to give them a toss after about 7 to 10 minutes. Okay, mine have been in there for about 10 minutes, so I'm going to toss them. And depending on your quantity, just take as long as you need, but just don't put it on a high heat. I wouldn't go any further than 300 degrees, frankly. And if you don't mind it taking longer, then you can do it at 250 degrees. But I'm just going to give these a toss, and I'm going to shake them down a little bit. I'm going to put them back in the oven, and I'm going to set my timer for 10 more minutes. All right. Now, another way you can tell that your breadcrumbs are toasted is the smell, because they will smell like toasted bread. Now then, when I store these, I store mine in a zip bag. I store them in the freezer door. That way I can have them anytime I want to. That's my handy way of doing it. You can store them however you like, because they are toasted. They will last for a while in your cupboard, or in a sealed container in your refrigerator, if that's where you like to keep them. I just keep mine in the freezer because that's just more convenient for me, okay? All right, so, but just make sure, the one thing you want to make sure you do is to let these completely cool off in the pan before you store them. They must be completely cooled, okay? All right, so there you are, toasted breadcrumbs anytime you want them. And these are perfect, perfect. These took a little less than 20 minutes, and I tossed them and stirred them in between, as you saw. Okay. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, because other people need to know this stuff too, you know. All right, I love ya. If I can do it, you can do it. And you just remember that little is much when God is in it. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye.